In the previous class, we have discussed on the production process of the sugar, dairy, and the pharmaceutical the products, how it is going to be processed. That we have seen, and also we have discussed on what are the different characteristics of the industrial wastewater which is coming out from these particular industries and how it can be treated. That we have discussed in the previous class. Now in today's class we are going to discuss regarding the wastewater. It is how the industrial wastewater is going to be get generated from the distillery industry, then how we can treat it, and what are its different characteristics that are involved, that we are going to see. Now the distilleries include the various the types of alcohol, rectified spirit, then the absolute alcohol, and different beverages that we are going to produce from the distillery industry. Okay, the products we are having the high biochemical processes, which is going to have the yeast, okay, which is going to use the carbohydrate as a raw material, and also it is going to have the ethyl alcohol in the different various proportions. Okay, the unwanted residue which is going to be coming out from these preparation, which is going to have the high amount of BOD, which is going to be, if you are going to discharge it without any treatment, then it is going to create a huge problem. Okay, now there are different several sources are there. There are different sources are there in the distillery industry. Thus, different sources which are present in the distillery industry, it is going to have the alcoholized, still it is going to have a residue, and it is going to be evaporated, and it is going to be condensed. And when this particular stillage is going to be evaporated, the minor waste which is going to included, it is going to have which is going to come out from the different kinds of equipment washes. The wastewater which is going to come from the different equipment washes and the manufacture of the compressed yeast, it is going to be have the some of the nutrient solution, and then it is going to allow it is going to be growed into the aerobic conditions until the maximum number of the yeast multiplication is going to be occurred. Okay, the yeast plant, it is going to have the main thing that we are going to have in the distillery industry is the yeast, right? The yeast, what we are going to do is we are going to have its cell multiplication, so that the decomposition of the organic material is going to occur, and we are going to get the alcohol out of it. Okay, now this yeast plant, it is consisting of the nutrient, wash water, then filter process, effluent, then cooling and condensed waste, right? All such kind of a waste will be there in the distillery. Okay, now the flow, the how we are going to have this particular alcohol is, we are going to get the molasses, right? We have studied how the molasses is going to be occurred in the sugar industry. From that sugar industry, we are going to get the molasses. We are going to have the 15% of a dilution to it. Then we are going to adjust the pH in between 4 to 4.5, and then we are going to add the nutrients to it. Okay, then we are going to have again the fermentation process, then the gasification and distillation is going to occur, then the crude alcohol we are going to get, and then we are going to have the distillation, and ultimately we are going to get the alcohol at the end, and the gasification is we are going to do it here, we are going to get the spent wash. Okay, now the parameter that we are going to have in this is as it is extremely a biological process, we are going to get the BOD in between around 12,000 mg per liter to 40,000 mg per liter, and we are going to, as some of the chemicals is also going to be get used, and always you know that your COD value will be always greater than BOD value, because it is going to have both the organic as well as inorganic. So it is going to have around 28,000 to 73,000 mg per liter of COD. Then it is going to have the chlorides in between 7,000 to 10,000 mg per liter, and we are going to get the highly turbid water, that is a brownish yellow kind of a wastewater we are going to get. Now the wastewater which is going to be coming out, we are going to first pass through the screen so that we can remove all the suspended particles or the large floating elements which are present. We can remove it, and then we are going to send it to the anaerobic lagoons, then to the aerobic lagoons, and then to the polishing pond. Okay, now the main principal pollutant that from a distillery industry is the residue, right? And this is recovered by industrial product by manufacturing the animal feed and the conversion to the chemical products. Okay, without the recovery, okay, the distillery waste will be based having the high amount of BOD, and then the screening is has to be done so that it is going to reduce the population of the different kind of a waste material. Okay, now the waste has to be sent to the trickling filters also, where it is having the BOD removal rate in between 60 to 98%, while the anaerobic digestion removes around 60 to 90% of the BOD value. Okay, so this is how we are going to treat the industrial the waste water which is coming out from the distilleries. Now we are going to study how the wastewater is going to be get treated in the textile industry, and how the waste is by what process the textile is going to be manufactured, that we are going to see. Okay, textile is as we are the living being, we require the food, then the food, medicines, and the textile, that is the clothes is a must. So one more important industry, the growing industry, is the textile. As the population increases, we require the clothes. So when we are going to use a huge amount of clothes, then the production of these clothes will also be increased, and then it is also going to generate that huge quantity of wastewater. Okay, now the textile, it is going to mill, it is going to have weaving, dyeing, then printing, and then it is going to have the finishing. Okay, now the first what we are going to have when we are going to get the raw cotton, we are going to desize it, right, which is going to give the high BOD wastewater, and then high alkalinity and high total solids. Then we will be having the scouring. Okay, then we are going to go for bleaching, right, the bleaching, then the mercerizing, then we will be going for dyeing, and then printing, and then finishing. So this is how the processing will be done in case of your textile industry. Then we will discuss, right, we will be seeing how the textile is going to be done. The raw cotton is going to be carded, then it is going to be spun, spooled, and then it is going to be sent to the finishing mill. Okay, now the waterborne diseases, right, waterborne pollution originates in the squeezing operations, since it is going to have the lots of mechanical processes. So there might be different kinds of no waterborne pollution is going to be get originated in these particular sequence. Though waterborne pollution will waterborne diseases will not occur in these kinds of processes. Okay, then in slashing, the thread is going to be sized with the starch, okay, to give it tensile strength and the smoothness necessary for the weaving. Okay, when we are going to use a starch, it is as it is an organic product, right, it is going to have the grey goods which contains around 8 to 15% of the compound, slashing compound. Okay, since it is an organic in nature, it is going to degrade, right, it is going to degrade, or it is going to be get decomposed. So here what will happen is, here there is a certain amount of BOD will also be get included in these kind of the industrial wastewater which is coming out from the textile, as we are going to use the starch. So BOD will also be there in case of these particular wastewater. Now we will see what are the different characteristics of the industrial wastewater of the textile we are going to have. We are going to have the BOD value around 700 to 1000 mg per liter. Then we are going to get a COD around 1400 mg per liter. Then we will be having the solids around 6000 mg per liter, and then we will be getting the chromium in between 10 to 15 mg per liter. So this is what are the different kinds of wastewater characteristics that we are going to get from the textile industry. Then we will be having the treatment. In the treatment, what first the raw water it is, as we are going to have the organic elements also as well as the inorganic elements such as the coloring material will also be included in such kind of an industrial wastewater. We are going to equalize it, as we needed to balance both the organic as well as inorganic elements. Then we are going to have the neutralization by adding the H2SO4 so that we should get, as it is the wastewater is firstly alkaline. In order to reduce the alkalinity, we are going to add some quantity of H2SO4. Then in the coagulation tank, as it is going to have some of the suspended solids or settleable solids in it, we are going to add the coagulant, and then we are going to settle down the waste that it is going to be used. Then in the settling tank, the sludge is going to be get settled, and we are going to send it to the your sludge drying beds. Then high rate trickling filter we are going to make it, and then we are going to recycle it, and then we are going to get the treated effluent outside in case of your textile industry. So this is how we are going to get the treat the textile industrial wastewater. Now we are going to discuss regarding how the cement is going to be get produced in the industry, and what are the different raw materials, how it can be produced, and what kind of wastewater that we are going to get from the cement industry, how it will be, and how we can treat the industrial wastewater which is coming out from the cement industry, that we are going to study. Now the different raw materials, as we require, as the population is increasing, we require a huge amount of construction. For construction we require a cement. So the raw material that it is going to be used is the clay, shale, iron, then a blast furnace. You all know regarding all these kinds of type of raw materials that we are going to use. Then we are going to have the grinding of these particular materials so that it can be reduced in size, and then the initial blending, we are going to mix these particular different waste material that we are the different material that we are going to grind it, we are going to mix it with each other. Then we are going to have the fine grinding so that the cement that we are going to get is it is going to have a fine powder. Then we will be using it to the kiln, right? We are going to heat it to the kiln. Usually the fine ground mixture, it is taken to the tanks, where it is going to be heated for the temperature of around 3000 degree Fahrenheit, and then it is going to be sent into the fusion, and then we are going to get the marble sized balls, and then we are going to have the grinding. Then we are going to get the origin of a waste from the cooling. Okay, the cooling, we are going to get the wastewater. Here we are going to get the products from the high pH and alkalinity. It is going to have the more amount of salt dissolved and the suspended solids in it. Then we are going to have the slurry which is going to be get produced. It is having too much amount of suspended solids in it, and then we need to use, in order to dust control, we need to use the precipitator, and then we are going to have a huge amount of dust. The main ingredient that we are going to get is in the cement industry is we are going to have the too much amount of total solids. We are going to get sulfates, we are going to get, and the potassium we are going to get. Now we will see the characteristics of the wastewater which is coming out from the cement industry. As I have told, the cement industry is going to have variation in pH. So it is going to have the pH is going to largely it is going to vary, okay, in between 6 to 2. Okay, TDS will be around 0.11 to 26.11 tons. It is pounds per ton, and then it is going to total suspended solids will be around 8 to 14 amount of suspended solids pounds per ton. It is going to be get liberated. Then alkalinity, as we are going to use lime, the wastewater will be having a slight alkalinity. It is going to have around 8 pH of 8 to 9 alkalinity will be there. Then the potassium that we are going to get liberated, it is going to have the 22.58. Then sulfate, it will be around 31. And then temperature that we are going to get the wastewater, we are going to have around 19.8. Now we will see how the treatment can be done in case of your cement industry. The main thing that we are going to have from the cement industry is the sedimentation that we should have the first, because as we are having the large amount of suspended and dissolved suspended and settleable solids in it, we are going to have the sedimentation, and again as we are going to have the lime in it, the increased pH value we are going to get, we are going to neutralize it first and then we are going to send it to the sedimentation tank. Now whatever the suspended solids that has been settled, suspended and settleable solids that has been settled, we are going to send it to the settling ponds, and then the contaminated ponds it is going to be get disposed of, and then this is how we are going to dispose the wastewater which is going to come out. We are going to remove all the suspended and settleable particles which are coming out from the cement industry, and we are going to remove it. So this is how we are going to treat the wastewater which is going to come out from the cement industry. The next industry that we are going to deal with is your paper and pulp. The two phases, the manufacturing of paper can be done in the two phases. One is the pulping the wood and making the final product. Now the raw materials it is used in the paper phase is it is going to have the wood, cotton, and then the straw, then the flax, and then jute, right, with the paper. Now in the at the paper mill, which is often it is going to be it is going to be integrate the same plant with the pulping process. The pulps are combined and it is going to be loaded with the fillers. Okay. Now the waste that we are going to have from your paper industry is it is going to have the waste it is going to be get generated from the grinding, digester, cooking, washing, bleaching, then thickening, right. All these will be the different processes that we are going to have it in the paper industry. Then the waste it is going to have contains sulfate, liquor, fine pulp, right, chemicals, right, sulfides and carbonates, right. And then again we are going to have the clay, ink, dyes that we are going to use, and again the oil and the greases. Okay, so as here we are going to have it is normally non-organic type of elements we are maximum we are going to use it in case of paper industry, and since we are going to use an wood and all, again it is a organic element which is present. So here also we are also going to produce some amount of BOD, so moderate the type characteristics of the wastewater which is coming out from the paper pulp industry will be, the BOD will be around 150 to 250, and then we are going to have the BOD to COD ratio will be around 0.25 to 0.2, and then color it is going to be around highly turbid. Since we are going to use the different types of dyes, chemicals, it is going to produce a color which is going to have around 4,000 to 8,000 units, and as we are going to use the acids and sulfate we are going to use, and again some of the alkaline materials we are going to use. So again here also we are going to have the too much variation in the pH will be varying in between 8.5 to 9.5. Okay, now we will see how the treatment can be done in case of the paper and pulp industry. So the lime that we are going to add to the wastewater which is going to come out, we are going to add the lime, we are going to give the lime treatment, and then we are going to clarify it. Then we are going to send it to the cooling towers, anaerobic lagoons. Then from the anaerobic lagoon we are going to aerate it, right. Then we are going to stabilize it, right. We are going to get we are going to stabilize it, and then we are going to get the effluent. So color reduction will be around 70% will be there, and BOD reduction will be around 40 to 50, and then the detention time will be around 4 hours. So this is how we are going to reduce the concentration of the industrial the wastewater which is going to come out from the paper and pulp industry. So in this particular module we have discussed how the waste is going to how the wastewater, how the production process will be there in the different kinds of industries. That is, we have discussed on paper, pulp, then textile industry, sugar industry, then your cement industry, then distillery industry, the food processing, pharmaceutical, how the waste is going to be get generated, what are the different kinds of wastewater characteristics and how the wastewater can be treated. This is what we have discussed in module 5. So we have completed module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4 and module 5. So everything that we have covered in our all the modules, only left out. This is what we have discussed in both the industrial wastewater and as well as the wastewater treatment. Okay, so we are going to have the revision of the things in the coming classes. Thank you.